All right, we are live. Here we go. Let me know if you can hear everything. Whoever's in the chat out there. I'll wait around. I'll answer whatever questions people might have in the meanwhile. And let me just set up a few things here. So this is going to be a little live stream. I think during this live stream we might push to exactly 50%, which would be really cool. Today it's been exactly 24 hours since I last launched the Kickstarter. So we'll see if we can get a 50% today. We'll see if anyone's in the chat at the moment. This is a bit of a spontaneous stream. Hey Amber, how's it going? It's a bit of a spontaneous stream to just put out there. But I just wanted to mainly have one just to answer any questions and just say thanks to everyone as well for everything so far. Hello, CW Glazer. How's it going? How is it going? Let me just post this as well on Discord. While I'm here. If anyone's got any questions as well, feel free to ask during this stream. This is kind of what it's all for. Now, the Ugly Goblin Discord. Pop that in there. Just having a short live stream for anyone here who wants to hop on. Yeah, there we go, and paste. So now, 100 people are online. Cool, about that. Alright, sorted. Hello, who we got there? Silver, is that, sorry. Silverfire, is that how you pronounce it? All the Y's were like throwing me completely. Hello, Silverfire. You just said, I learned about the Kickstarter and this channel from Mystic Arts, and I'm super into it. Wow, thank you so much. Oh, that's amazing. That's really, really cool to hear. Yeah, Dottie's amazing. Dottie just like took off on YouTube and has just been nailing it, absolutely crushing it. And they were one of my first sponsors for this Kickstarter so far. So I'm delighted. I'm delighted that you managed to find the channel and the Kickstarter through Dottie. That's amazing. I love Dottie stuff. Dottie is really, really cool. Just a really cool dude. But yeah, I'm glad. What do you think of the Kickstarter so far? Is it kind of your vibe? It's a very wholesome vibe, but I'm sure there's other ways to make it pretty nasty too, I'm sure. But yeah, overall the artwork's all pretty like Ghibli-esque and things like that. I'm curious if that's your vibe or not. Amber says, this is my favorite D&D channel. Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool. Thank you so much. I'm absolutely honored. It's an absolute honor to be your favorite YouTube channel. Yes, Silver say yes, that's right. Yes, brilliant. So yeah, I'm gonna be here. I just want to hang out with you all and kind of just mark the occasion of this being 24 hours since we launched. I might do another one tomorrow to mark 48 hours, because after that who knows where we'll be with this Kickstarter. I'm so nervous. I was so nervous. I hope this all goes well. The Kickstarter actually does well, but it's so hard to tell. It's my very first Kickstarter ever, so I'm a bit nervous. Sire, hello, welcome to the stream. Bruno, hey, how's it going? Congrats on the great reception of your project. Thank you so much, Bruno. I really, really do appreciate it. Yeah, it's going super well so far. We've got 76 backers, and somehow that adds up to. See, I've got euros here now, but actually, I should probably switch it to dollars because I'm sure most of you are familiar with dollars. So let's switch it over to dollars, just to make it a bit more legible. There we go. So we're nearly at $6,000, which is insane. We're so close. We're like 49% backed, which is crazy. We're so close to 50%. So it'd be really cool if even during the stream we can get it to 50%. That would be crazy. We get 50% in the first 24 hours. Sensational. Yeah, it'd be really, really cool. Blaze, hello. You said my campaign has your JJK skill tree, Jujutsu Kaisen. Nice. since about when it came out now. Really love how it's changed that game. That's crazy. Oh, thank you, Blaze, as well, for subscribing. Thank you. That's amazing that you've been playing it for that long. So what, it's been like a year and a half that you've been running the campaign? I haven't used the JJK system that much as well, so I'm very curious like how that's going for you. If it's like after playing for such a long time, is it still like holding up as well? Has it gotten too broken? I'm very curious. I mean, it is designed to be broken, right? So yeah. Amber says Kickstarter does rough estimates for currency conversions. Yes. Okay. So it's not completely accurate, maybe, but yeah, I did get an email this morning. It was like 48%, so, and it's gone up a bit since. So I think we're pretty much at 50%, which is it's insane. It's crazy. Let's get a little calculator. I'll check what we got here. 11,623 is the American dollar conversion. So we'll divide that by 5760. So we are at, no, I did it the wrong way around. Whoops. It's going to be 5760 divided by 11,623. And that is 49.5569%. Okay, so we're pretty much at 50, which is pretty cool. 50 is pretty good for day one. Yeah, I could not be more grateful, honestly. I'm genuinely like, I was so scared it was just not going to move up at all and things. I don't know how we have 76 backers and we've raised this much. So people are being very generous clearly as well, which is absolutely incredible. It's hard to comprehend for sure. Zara says JGK is so huge. The Blade Singer in my campaign made his own domain expansion spell with no prompting from me. That's so cool. Very, very cool. That must have been a really cool moment as well. Was that during like a boss battle or something like that? I'm so curious. Zaire. Blaze is one who's using the campaign, but you've also had them use it, Zaire. Okay, wow, that's awesome. That's so cool. Really, really cool to see you all using it. Blaze says the use of domains has really changed how some of the combat has gone since they've had access. It's really cool to see the various things that can be done. That's awesome. Yeah, it must be like you must be doing some real brain acrobatics, like mind acrobatics there to like manage it all. Oops, sorry, I'm just gonna move my mic. To like calculate things and stuff like that. I suppose you just have to go with vibes a lot of the time, which must be pretty tricky, which, I mean, yeah, it's pretty cool. Blaze says, oh, for sure, 50% in a day is crazy. Yeah, it's honestly, yeah, I don't know how to process it. it's so cool. Blaze says, are you able to see the specific breakdown of tiers that have been backed? Yeah, I can show you the tiers that have been backed so far. Let's have a look. So we can go down here, and it would be just over here on this side. So let me move this over just a little bit. Where am I going? Actually, you know what? It might actually be easier for me to switch here and go to this and just stretch it down. Hopefully that's big enough for you all. I might bring it out a bit. Oops. There we go. So you can see here that 15 people have backed the PDF, which is amazing. Really, really lovely to see. We've got 5 people. This one doesn't make any sense to me because I'm like, so it's very cool. It probably makes sense to some degree. I'm just maybe missing something. But we've got people here we've had 5 people buy the main course, which is the main book itself. Okay, but then there is still like places in the limited early bird to buy the main book and the PDF. So amazingly, some people are just still like supporting the main course, which is really, really awesome. So 39 people here. That's amazing. We then have 8 people getting the alternate cover art, the luxury bundle, which I also, Dungeon Coach has also backed this one because it's purple. So that's really, really cool. So if anyone who knows the Dungeon Coach, amazing to see him supporting this. Full course, we have 2 people on the full course, which is just PDF and both the books. I shouldn't do that. I should do this. Oops. And then we've got the Chef Special. So the Chef Special puts your name in the credits of the actual book itself. So we have 2 people for that. And of course, you get everything else. You get the 2 books and the PDF. We then have Made with Love. So it says 0 backers here. And the reason for that, we have actually 2 people back this. But there was some kind of typos in the original. So I've just changed it because originally it said it includes rewards for everything from the... it was from this one. It was from Celebrity Chef. I put down Celebrity Chef by accident. And it was meant to say Chef's Choice or Chef Special. Immediately made a spelling mistake there. So I've changed it because I didn't want any confusion there. Obviously the tiers that are listed are there, but I've tweaked it. So that's Made with Love. Made with Love in this package, I will sign. I'll personally get your book sent to me. I'll sign them. I'll give you t-shirts. I'll give you a bunch of nice goodies, and I'll do you a hand-drawn image as well. My own hand-drawn drawing, which I'll send to you. We've got MasterChef Bundle. No one's gotten this yet, but this one allows you to design an actual ingredient that will go into the book, and you get to build a whole recipe around it. We'll work together to do that. I'll do artwork for it and everything, and you'll actually have some items and content in the book. So it's pretty cool. There's only 10 of those. We then have the Celebrity Chef Bundle. And again, someone has bought this, but I've had to reduce it down. I had to change it as well because there's a few spelling errors. Mainly it said celebrity, so there was no second E, so I just had to change it. So I changed the image there. But we got 1 backer for this. So this one allows you to have your own character. You get to design your own character and they get added to the book itself. And then this is the older, so these are the older ones that are all gone for Made with Love and the other Celebrity Chef one. So I've just changed them and moved them around. So what are people saying here in the chat? So yeah, that's the breakdown, Blaze. Zara said the Blade Singer uses Domain's spell on the boss in a session just yesterday, but the gap in power was too much and the boss kind of destroyed him. Oh wow, okay, interesting. It gave the party time to clear out the minions. It did give people time to clear out the minions. That's interesting. So yeah, they kind of like tried to isolate themselves with the boss. That's really cool though. That's a really cool moment. Damn, awesome. Really, really cool. Goblin swag. Yeah, if you back the Made with Love tier, you will get some nice goblin swag. Absolutely. Blaze says, I love the thought that's gone into these. Thank you so much. Yeah, I really wanted them to feel foodie, you know. So we've got Celebrity Chef, we've got Chef Special, we've got Master Chef, all this kind of stuff. So and thank you, that means a lot to me. I put a lot of thought into them for sure. Amber says, I love the theming with the tiers. Thank you so much. Yeah, pretty happy with how they came out, how they look. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. So yeah, this is obviously, you can't actually see what I'm scrolling through here. Let me switch over here. I'm so proud of how this scrapbooky stuff came out as well. Really happy with it all. So yeah, we got recipe cards, travel exploration. These are the unique ingredients. We got Fire Giant Heart, Mimic's Tongue, Rust Bug Rust. I put Rust Bug Rust just in case, you know, Rust Monster is, you know, claimed by D&D. I've got to be a little careful around those kind of things. Like, I don't think I can use Beholder, for example, so I'll have to change the name. I'll say Big Eyeball Monster Central Eye or something like that. But yeah, just working around the OGL. But yeah, pretty happy with how it's all going so far. It's very exciting. Yeah, here's all the tiers and my background with cooking. I cook a lot. And we've got our stretch goals, which are all mysterious right now. We'll reveal those as we progress, if we get to those tiers. So, let's go back to here. Go back to the top of the page and shrink this down. Now, there we go. So, has anyone got any questions? Anything on your mind about the channel, about the Kickstarter, about anything I've made so far? I'd love to answer whatever you've got for me. I'm going to be here. It's going to be a short stream. I just wanted to mainly spend some time with you all, be here for the 24-hour mark. But yeah, if there's anything you want to know, let me know. Gotta stay hydrated. Oh my god, my phone's put that on silent actually. There we go. Now, what are people saying here? Blaze says, one of my players has a domain expansion that uses the embodiment thing to become a giant. Oh, cool. He then decides to break straight into a prison from the roof, which went as well as you'd imagine. Okay, that's really, really cool. Very, very cool. Hell yeah. Blaze says, I love the art on the Kickstarter. Thank you so much. Yeah, it was a team effort by my fiance and I. My fiance did the main kind of cover. I could show you here as well. Like it's, whoops, wrong button. So yeah, the main book cover. That's all my fiance there. I've done all the little ingredients. You'll probably be able to tell my style from her. She's much more. She will render things out a lot. And I like very graphic styles. I come from a very graphic designer background, so mine are all like very punchy, and she's very painterly. And then for the alternate cover art, or let's see, best image. This is like a good example, I suppose. Like this was our actually very first collaboration. I cannot believe we haven't collaborated more. But these images here that are on the alternate cover art, we did as a collaboration. So I did all the line work and I did the base colors, and then she rendered the whole thing. And I'll show you. Let me see if I can show you here, like if my iPad will actually show up. But essentially, where is it now? I have to go on to, yeah, this is crazy to see the difference. So actually, if I get up Procreate where we've actually drawn it, you'll get a better sense. So yeah, here we go. So this is what I drew. Okay, this is gonna look so crazy. But this is okay. My ring light's gonna be in the way a bit, and my mic. This is the image that I drew. So this is the graphic line art and the base colors. Okay. And then what my fiance turned that into. So she had the much more difficult job too. She had to like adapt to my style. But she turned it into this, which is just insane. Like, right? Like the difference there is crazy with the rendering. You can't even see it all like properly there. I'll see if I can even drag an image onto the screen right now. Let me see if I can actually just drag it straight onto the live stream just to show you, because it's just the poster is so cool, or the cover I should say. Okay, comment art, Kickstarter. Yeah, here we go. I'll give you the full cover. See if it works. Yeah, it does. Okay, like look at this. This is insane, right? Let me shrink it down a bit. This is just crazy. Whoops. Let me just bring this up here. Like, look at the detail here and the attention. It's very reminiscent as well of like into the Spider-Verse or something. Like, I love the comic booky punchy style that she's added, because this is like, it's a mixture of how she would paint for sure, but she's kind of like developed a whole new style just to adapt to my very bold graphic dark lines. And I just think it's such a cool combo. Yeah, I'll leave it on the screen there for a moment just so you can take it in and admire it. Misfortune, hello Misfortune. The food made for the heart of the fire giant are going to be crazy. Yeah, that'd be really, really cool. Well, let me see. Let me see what if I can remember what the... Oh, that's it. Yeah, so the way the fire giant heart works is actually you don't put it in ingredients. You use it as your heat source or your like hot rock. You put it down and you start it up, and it can cook. And food you cook on the actual giant's heart itself gains all these cool buffs. So there's some really interesting ones. Like a lot of things, some things aren't just like you just cook it and eat it. You can use them in the process of making other meals. So yeah, I'm really curious, like see what kind of things people come up with, like with the fire giant heart and other kind of weird things like that in the future. Blaze says, I'm really curious what situation gets a party the heart of a fire giant. I actually had some players a few months back, and we haven't actually played this campaign for a while. We've been on a bit of a break. But they were traveling from place to place. They knew this one character who could turn into kind of a giant, basically. He was like a 50, 60 foot tall monster, like Attack on Titan kind of guy. And along their travels, they knew he was somewhere ahead of them. And they were kind of walking towards him in that kind of same direction. But they find a fire giant at one point that had been destroyed, and this party's only like level 4 or something at this stage, and they found a fire giant that had been killed clearly by this other guy who can turn into this giant titan. And it was a really cool moment. But they saw things like parts of the fire giant had been taken away and removed, like his fingernails, and his heart had been ripped out of his chest. And I just think that is so cool. In my head, I mean I know I'm the one who was telling the story, but I kind of loved the narrative there that, number one, yeah, obviously this guy is strong enough to kill a fire giant, but he's also collecting ingredients for something. He's working towards something, and he's not just doing this randomly. And I thought that was really, really fun. Blaze says, I love the visuals of the stream with the rip paper for the chat box. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, I'm pretty proud of it myself. This is kind of a style I really like, and I wanted to go for with the Ugly Goblin, that scrappy kind of scrapbook style. And you can see it very much in the Kickstarter too, that same kind of style. Misfortune says, I mean, it gets pretty dark, and they take it from the source. Wait, am I reading this right? I mean, it gets pretty dark. Oh man, I must have forgotten where this is referencing. But yes. Oh yeah, it must be pretty dark if they're taking the heart from the source. Of course, yeah, ripping out a heart like kind of Kalimar style. Yeah, absolutely. Bay says, I do wonder if players having access to this would cause them to hunt down creatures they usually wouldn't encounter. I mean, to some extent, yeah, the whole idea with this is that your players will kind of start writing their own stories too. You know, they'll start directing the narrative a little bit more because they're going to want to go after certain ingredients, which I think is kind of fun. Full art book is really, really cool. Thank you so much. Spirit Fox, hello, and welcome to the stream. Yo, finally made it to one of your streams. How are you doing? And the new cookbook, pretty good. I was just showing off. This is the alternate cover for the book itself. We're 50%. We're halfway through, 24 hours in, which is crazy. We're slowing down a little bit. We've kind of like had the massive explosion of momentum. Hopefully we can pick up more momentum as we go. But overall, we're doing really, really well. And I couldn't be happier. So very, very exciting. And I just wanted to mark the 24 hours occasions with a little stream. So thanks for joining the stream. Have you got any questions? Any other questions for me? It's just like a time to chat and hang out for another 10 minutes or so, just to see how people are doing. Well, we're building up a few people as well in chat. It's pretty cool. Blaze says, I could honestly see an entire campaign based around hunting and eating mythical creatures. Absolutely. And, you know, that's going to be one of my tiers, is to have like a mini adventure as well. Like if we get one of our stretch goals, we're going to make a mini adventure to go into the book as well. And some kind of like plot hooks and things like that. A big thing as well, the recipe cards also act as quest cards, or kind of like little quests too. I think I mentioned that in the last stream yesterday, where you'll have a list of specific monsters, and if you can collect all the parts from these monsters, you'll be able to make this really cool meal using them all. And you could have maybe some sort of expert chef who you bring these things to, and you could have like a Monster Hunter kind of themed adventure there, and it'd be really, really cool. Silverfire says, one of my players is a former elven innkeep. Okay, cool. Whose inn was destroyed. No! In the war that preceded the campaign. Damn. And she really wants to do cooking stuff, and I ran into this. No way! Oh, fantastic. That's so cool. Well, I hope this can do it justice. Yeah. And the biggest thing as well with this as well, I didn't want it to be class focused. I wanted cooking to be a thing anyone can pick up, you know, as long as they're using these mechanics. Obviously, though, if I build a chef class, which is one of our stretch goals, there will be a thing that like helps you more when you're making meals for people. But essentially, it's the anyone can gain access to this. Anyone can use the mechanics from this. You don't have to be a chef to cook monsters and start experimenting and playing with your food. Spirit Fox is glad to hear it. Silverfire says it could be more uniquely appropriate for exactly what that player wants. That'd be amazing. That'd be so cool. Because also, yeah, you don't have to commit a class and levels of your class build into, you know, being a chef or whatever. You know, you can just find monsters, and it's a much more casual vibe that I want to go for with these kind of rules. Bruno says tentacle cyclops equals beholder. I like that. I'm actually gonna write that down. Tentacle cyclops. Nice. Tentacle cyclops equals beholder. I do that with my friend a lot. This is the thing we've started. You know, if we know what the other person's thinking, it goes on for way too long with awkward silences. Hey, Coterie, hello, welcome. Fepes, aka large grapes with high. Okay, we've got some more kind of food ideas. This is great. Large grapes with high iron content that can be collected by magnets. That's really fun. Great for when you have anemia tastes and act like blood, so you can replace all eggs in baking. Weird knowledge, I know. That's really, really cool. That's very, very cool. Amber says rust monster equals oxidized or corrosive beetle. I like that. Corrosive beetle. Corrosion beetle? Corrosion beetle. I like that. Hell yeah. Or corrosion bug or something like that. Or what was the first thing you said? Oxidized. Yeah. Very nice. I like it. I like where we're at here. Finding the loopholes in the OGL. Fantastic. Goodry says, yeah, basically Artificer versus any other class when crafting. Usually faster and slightly better, but can do a lot of the same thing. Yeah, 100%. That's going to be equivalent of a chef class in this. Yeah, 100%. And I like the idea for subclasses for the chef, you know, like you specialize in a type of cuisine. So there's like fast food, or there's like fine dining, or there's kind of like, you know, your Michelin star style kind of stuff. Or you can even go with kind of like, I'm trying to think like home cooking, you know, like wholesome meals for friends and family, kind of putting a lot of heart into your meals and stuff. I think there's a lot of potential there for subclasses. Amber says, adventuring is my career, cooking is my hobby. Same for sure. And that, I like that. I love that. And that's kind of, that actually summarizes very much my journey and my experience with cooking, is that it was something I wanted to pursue as a career. In the end, when I got a look at the actual work life of a chef, it was not quite what I wanted my life to be. It's very stressful, and the higher up you go, the harder it gets. So I decided I would just keep it as a hobby, keep it as something that I do for people that I love. And I still cook a lot, and I watch a lot of cooking videos. I'm always learning and practicing and honing my skills, but it's not something I would like to do professionally. Blaze says, I am curious. What about a hardcore to the T Druid would think about? Oh, a hardcore to the T Druid would think about eating monster hearts. Probably against it, I imagine. But there's a lot of vegetarian options here as well. So, so you've got that option too. A lot of the kind of like hunting and gathering stuff is usually a little more ethical too. There's lots of gathering, and if you're a pescatarian, there's fishing options as well. So you've got a bit of everything there. Misfortunate says, I'm gonna have a dragon that likes to eat rare delicacies and has adventurers bring it special food for monsters. That's awesome. That's really, really cool. I wonder if they have also like a giant, not a freezer, but like, you know, a portal or something into the domain of ice or something, like the elemental plane of ice, and they just have like displayed in there all of these rare ingredients preserved for like eternities and stuff. That'd be really, really cool. Blaze says, a dragon that hoards other monster pieces to eat would be so cool. How cool would it be if you end up fighting this dragon? Hopefully not, because they sound like an awesome NPC, and I would be heartbroken if that happened. But if they did, or if they needed to like get a super cool buff, they just reach in and grab one of these ingredients and eat it, and now all of a sudden their fire breath turns to like acidic fire or something like that. There's so much cool potential with that. That is awesome. Or just having like enemies, like have goblins show up and then all of a sudden they eat some kind of weird plant that turns them into a frenzy. So all of a sudden like they take half damage from like bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage and stuff like that. Loads of cool potential there for sure. Ember says, any chance of trying to do a foundry system rule set for the classes system? Is a tricky one, and I think if I was to undertake something like that for the classes system, it would need to be part of like, I think, a Kickstarter or something, because I don't think I have the time or the energy or the knowledge to do that just on the side with everything else going on at the moment. But I do plan to possibly next year release a Kickstarter either for my TTRPG or for the classes system for D&D. So we'll see where we're at next year, but I do definitely want to do a Kickstarter next year depending on how things are going. So yeah. Spirit Fox says, I love you're making this. It lets us get more involved with the world of D&D, like letting us use alchemy. This will teach them about animals and monsters. Yes, absolutely. That is my goal here. 100%. You nailed it on the head there. They said, I'd love something like that, like the classes skill tree. A lot to figure out specifics. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to work out there if I was to convert it all, but we'll see in the future now. Coterie says, I cook for myself quite a bit. I love making extremely spicy stuff. I love spicy food for a very long time, and then there came a point where I ate something a little like far too spicy. It was kind of scary, and I scared myself, and then after that I cut way back on the amount of spicy stuff I had. But I do enjoy a bit of spice for sure, but in moderation. Hello Eloy, welcome. Lovely to see you here. Thank you for joining. Blaze says, in that case, I bet you'd like trying the fire monster heart. Seems like it'd be spicy for sure. Why is it spicy? Coterie says, the Fepes would be great for those vegetarian vampires. Very cool. Very, very nice point. Misfortune says, what about Gostar? I think I'd do a book on Gostar. I'd love to do a book on Gostar, like a source book. I think I'd have to do it like, make goblins as a rule book, and then make the kind of campaign setting book as like a separate thing, because both are huge undertakings. But I think right now the classes stuff is a bit more popular than Gostar, but Gostar is my love, and I would love to do a source book on Gostar there. But then I look at things like Obajima, and Obajima is like crazy popular right now. So we'll see where we go with it. Be very cool though. Be really cool to have a source book for Gostar. That would be like, that is literally life goals. That is like, if I could do that, that would be just the ultimate dream come true. That'd be like, I can tick that off my bucket list. Like, I've made a book for my D&D campaign setting. Like, who doesn't want that, right? Blaze says, oh, that reminds me of one of my friends. They ran a one-shot with the classes system, and we figured out how to get like a plus 20 or so on stealth. Yeah, I mean, you can do that with D&D as well. You can do that in regular D&D. But yeah, totally possible. That's really cool. I like that. I like that about the skill tree, the class skill tree system, that you can do these things. You can push it, but you're always going to be like sacrificing something else, along the way. Kodori says fire dragon related creatures should have blood that is spicy. You know what? Actually, saying that is going to be one of the stretch goals. I don't know if we'll reach it, but I do want to add like it was recommended like a flavor magic system. So like spicy magic and salty magic and sweet magic and stuff like that could be really, really interesting. CW Glazer says, does the flavor impact the abilities that consuming the food gives you? So in terms of flavor, that will probably be down to if we add that to the book. That is a stretch goal that we have written down, that we have marked down. So that could change up everything. If we ended up getting that stretch goal, it'd be crazy. And all of a sudden, all the ingredients have a different tag that do something. This is a spicy tag. This is a salty. This is a sweet tag. But in the end of the day, this Kickstarter was meant to be just like, I'm testing the waters of Kickstarter so I can do something even bigger next year so I can understand it. But if it gets bigger than it is, then I'm all for adding all these other things to it. But then again as well, I haven't promoted this all that much outside of my own channel. There's been a few other channels that are lined up to promote it, but I haven't gone crazy this time round with the with advertising. But I definitely want to have an advertising budget next year for sure, so I can really get this out there and get my stuff out there. CW Glazer says, does the flavor... Oh, yeah, sorry, we read this one. Spirit Fox. I wanted to ask, do you have a site where you're selling these, or is it on Patreon? Where I sell most of my stuff is all on Patreon, yeah. These books, though, they're all going to be on Kickstarter, and you'll still be able to back it once the Kickstarter is finished. Some of the tiers you'll be able to still buy, like the main book and things like that, but they're going to be a higher price than they will be on Kickstarter. They're really cheap on Kickstarter now, but the prices will go up if you miss the Kickstarter deadline. So just keep that in mind. Eloy says, spicy blood seems very tasty. Some well done steaks with fire dragon sauce. Well done steaks? No! you can't have well done steaks. You gotta have them bloody. You gotta have them raw. Blaze says, I wonder how many of the flavors were random shower thoughts. A lot of the ingredients, I do this often. If I'm having a shower or something like that, I'll give myself like a goal. I'm like, hey, can I come up with a mini system just using playing cards in the 10 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever I'm in the shower for? And I will. And then it's a really fun little thing to do. I'm constantly making up mechanics. I love doing it. Amber says, idea. In the kitchen book, might have some small hints on which regions certain monsters are more popular, like in, say, the mountainous areas, in Gostar or XYZ mountain ranges, gives a teaser for the setting. I like that. That's really cool. Absolutely. I like the idea of having tables as well, where you can like, okay, we're in the winter area here. Here's some ingredients you can find there. 100%. We'll answer the last few questions, and then I might wrap up the stream, even though so many people are flooding in already. It'd be really, really cool to keep chatting. I mean, I can stay around for a little bit, but I have also promised my fiance that we're going to play some Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines. We've been really enjoying it, if anyone's played. Let me see here. For real, I bet most of them were just spontaneous. Yeah, I mean, sometimes. What I did have for the unique ingredients, which are here. I'll put them up here so that you have like a visual. But for these unique ingredients that are in here, I've made just over 30, between 30 and 40 of them at the moment. And I'm trying to keep them balanced between creature types. So I set myself like, okay, I'm going to do 3 or 4 per creature type. And I went through them all. I chose some of the most iconic creatures in each creature type. and they've done like been fleshing them out and developing them. When we first had this idea as well for the Kickstarter, my fiance and I would go for walks and would just come up with ideas as well. We'd just like think of them as we're walking, like, okay, so like what would Phoenix Down do? It couldn't just instantly revive you, that'd be too powerful, you know. And it was really fun. This is the benefit as well, the beautiful side of having a fiance, a partner who is who's really into TTRPGs and art and everything else as well. We have amazing chats about all this kind of stuff. Goddery says Death Mountain, salt and alchemical vinegar, volcano chips. Oh my god, there's so many cool ideas there. Damn. Misfortune says, what about cooking-based spells like roast or stir? Gotta write those down. We'll definitely have to have a few little things in there for sure. Cooking spells. Roast, stir. I love those. I love that idea. We'll definitely have some items in there, some kind of basic magic items, some basic spells. I love that. Love that idea. Kunari says the salt and vinegar types are subject to change by you. Cool. Blaze says, honestly, I'm convinced to buy the deluxe book cover now. It looks so cool. Thank you so much. That's really cool. For anyone who's new to the chat, I was showing it off earlier. What the actual deluxe cover looks like. Look at that. This is so cool. This is the first collab that myself, my fiance, and I have done, and it's just so cool. So I am amazed how it turned out. That'd be incredible if you were to back that tier. It mean the world to me. Cuttery says, I mean, my ingredient ideas are just stupid at sudden thoughts. I mean, the best ideas come from just stupid random thoughts, right? Bruno says, don't forget to treat for Blue as a food in the book. Write that down. That's a really good idea. Treats for Blue. Treats for Blue, or doggy treats. I want to do a stat block for Blue at some stage. It'd be really, really fun. All right. I think Blue deserves treats to maybe pet treats with blue illustrations. That'd be really, really cute. Okay, I think we're going to wrap up the Kickstarter here, the live stream. It is wonderful, though, to see so many of you active in the chat. It's really, really cool. Where are we at now? Where we looking? I don't think it's changed, but totally fine. Oh, wait. No, we have. I think in this time, we've gained some backers. That's crazy. Thank you all for whoever is backed. That's definitely, I think, 100% pushed us over. Let me see, because it's easier for me to check in euros. Because, you know, I'm working in euros, so I set the goals for euros. We have! In the stream, we've reached 50%! That's so cool. Thank you all so much. Oh my god, you're incredible. This is incredible. So yeah, first 24 hours, we have reached the halfway mark. That is crazy. That is so cool. Incredible. Misfortune says, anything to do with the Trask could give you anti-magic effects. Love that. I'll add Trask in there, because I don't think I've made anything for Trask yet. But Trask has been written down. That is a big one. That's a big ingredient for sure. Tricky as well. But we're going to leave it there. Thank you so much. Oh, wow, Blaze, this is the second Kickstarter you've ever backed. Amazing. Thank you so much. I am absolutely honored to be your second Kickstarter. Blue Charisma is definitely 20, 100%. She can get away with everything. But thank you all so much for joining. It's been a lovely little stream. I hope I've answered as many of your questions as I can. And we will have another stream next week where I will be giving away another break book to some lucky member of the audience. So make sure you're here next week when I have the next stream.